Yo, 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 yo. What is good, YouTube? How we feeling on a Friday night?
Yes,
You know,
sir.
it is the what is it? The day before the last day of February Eve.
There you go.
Yeah, man. We had a couple drops today too. We had four different sneakers drop today on the sneakers app. That's alone. And there were other shoes that released too that just weren't necessarily even talked about today. But real quick before we jump into all that, man, just how's everybody doing out there this evening?
Yeah, yeah. Chat, what's going on with you, man? We got Sneaker Tyler Radio in the building. Hey, Damani, what's going on, fam? Yo, yo, yo. Appreciate everybody up in the build tonight, man. We got an impact show for y'all today, man. But like where your kick said, man, today it was pandemonium.
Mm,
It was epic.
mm,
It was undeniably fire.
mm,
But I got a question for you, where your kicks?
mm. What's good?
How long will this hype last?
Hype.
Ooh,
You call this
ooh,
hype?
ooh.
You call this hype? This is like a blip on the radar.
Mm.
This is more like a blip on the radar that's been happening right now, bro. I mean, when you really think about it, I mean, today was interesting, right? So we had 9,000 pairs of the Stranger Thing phone posits, 29,000 pairs of the Varsity Red Union Frags. Uh, Plenty Hardaway, what's good with you? What's good with
What up,
Sneaker Tyler
Plenty?
Radio? What's good with Damani? What's good with everybody out there? Let's see. We had those LeBron Air Force Ones. I think there's about like 1,300 pairs or something like that that dropped today. And they randomly restocked not only the Grateful Dead shoes, but Grateful Dead, excuse me,
Harold.
Grateful, what do they call it? Grateful, it's not called Grateful Dead. It's called Grateful something. I forget.
True swag in
Whatever.
the build.
But they, what's good with you guys? But yeah, they dropped that too. They dropped four different pairs of shoes today, and it all sold out. That's a lot of shoes to sell out. And then tomorrow, Wolf Gray Fives. You know,
So I'm gonna go live in the chat, man, and I'm gonna ask the chat this question, right? And this is more of a comment in my opinion. The Wolf Grays, the Wolfies, is like what I like to call them. Oh, they gonna sell out on sneakers app. But I have a weird, funny feeling you're gonna be able to walk into the physical store and you're gonna see them joints saying, "Take me home." Now, here's my whole thing about it, right? Not only was like the past 2 weeks have been crazy, right? Nothing but fire heat after fire heat. And True Swag said Stranger Things. I didn't even look at them. I said, "Whoa, my
mm,
God, I didn't even look at them. What are those?"
mm,
But with that being said, there's been plenty of times that the whole entire community go crazy over certain
mm,
sneakers, and we've seen it so many times that those same sneakers that the whole community went crazy over, they were sitting. They sat. And I just got this weird
mm,
feeling. I just don't think the Wolfies are going to be at least an instant sellout. I just don't think so. Sneaker
mm.
Tyler Radio said, reach back on Wolfies. True Swag TV said, I hit Wolf Grays on tree apps. What does that tell you? On tree apps.
I mean, that means he got lucky. That don't mean not a lot of people are going after him. We can't because he hit on three different sites. That doesn't necessarily mean people ain't going after the shoe. Okay,
I
because
agree.
we've seen before people go after the shoe, and sometimes you just get lucky and you end up hitting multiple pairs.
That's true.
It happens from time to time, so we can't necessarily say because he hit on multiple pairs that's telling us, oh, not a lot of people are going for the shoe.
That's
You
true.
know, I know we always like to look at the negative side of it, but I mean, a lot of people have been talking about these Wolf Gray Fives, probably more so than we thought people would be.
Yeah.
And they were a big hit, obviously, during All Star Weekend for a lot of people. So much so that they were fighting each other in line to get pairs. You know, and now we have release day coming up. I mean, and think of it from this perspective: Sneakers app does have a lot of pairs because they did an exclusive access on them. You know,
Okay.
you had JD Sport Finish Line. You know, they have their EA, their in-store and online pickup, and a lot of the sizes moved. Um, our guy, Mister Think Impossible, he actually hit and didn't get through on Foot Locker to claim his pairs.
Well, Foot Locker. Listen, Foot Locker is a whole trash site anyway. I haven't hit on Foot Locker in 8 years, bro. Foot Locker is garbage.
But he did hit.
Basura.
But he did
Okay,
hit. You know, I've hit on Foot Locker before in the past.
I have not. Foot
You
Locker.
know,
I'm gonna tell you who else took a L. I think Perp might have taken an L just for fun. Foot Locker is the worst site, one of the trashiest sites ever. I'm just calling it what it is. I'm just gonna stand on business on Foot Locker. Foot Locker needs a lot of help. True Swag TV said usually that's what that means for me, Jay. And he's talking about in reference to the Woofies, right? He also said, I hit on 4 Gammas. That was a first for me when they came out. Foot Locker is trash, can water. Vinny in the bill from 305. Stand up, 305. Stand up. Let's go, Vinny. Step outside now, bro. Ooh, you're beefing me bad, bro. I'm 23, man. I'm Gen Z. What's up, boy? Fire, fire to everybody out there in the chat,
man.
baby.
Look, I put it to you like this, bro. Like I said, man. Like today, in my opinion, today was an anomaly. To be honest with you, the fact that all those pairs sold out. I mean, also it's tax time. You know what I mean? So a lot of people got their tax money in. So that's definitely helping the situation.
True.
Um, that being said, I don't know exactly what's going on. Like it to me, it just kind of seems like the same energy ain't really there overall.
Right.
It just seems like energy is kind of shifted, you know. Both
Yeah.
grade fives are very limited in my area. See, they're limited in some places and they're going to be abundant in others. You know, you can't necessarily because again because we've seen this before, right? Um, what is it? We've had shoes sell out in places, and then like Mister Thing, he's out there in the Colorado area. He walks in and they got abundant of pairs just everywhere, in
That's
a lot
true.
of different stores. So a lot of it has to do with just where you are. We know down here in South Florida, man, like the resellers is constantly going and buying stuff up, bro. They
Facts.
constantly go and buy stuff up. So, in certain areas it can look like the game's live and well, but just as a whole, I mean, think of it from this perspective. Regardless of how people feel about Jordan ones, like it's just the fact that it's a union. It's a union frag. It's a triple collab. Like, have we ever like? When's the last time we've had a union frag Nike collab like that? It was the first of its kind, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a long time. Been
First,
quite a
first,
while.
first of its kind, I believe. And is it really the silhouette itself, or is it just kind of the overall landscape of sneakers that some of these brands like? Okay, here's a good example. If the frags from Travis Scott dropped in more places than just Travis Scott's website, I wonder if the chase would have been the same for them.
I think so. I think so. But I mean, it is a very good question. G Face said buying GRs is easy, but some unicorn pairs are hard to resell at an option. Then also Donald Mays in the bill. He said, "What's popping, fellas? Elevator has a guide rail. Whoa!" He said, "Jay Elevate question. What's your question, brother?" Jay said, "My dog got hit by a car, so I ate PLS. Send me support." Like you said, Plenty Hardaway, you already said, man. He said Wolfies, man, in his area is limited. Long ass sneaker day, LOL by Donald Mays. Plenty Hardaway said both my hips only have 16 men pairs. True Swag TV said it's because the resale prices are different now, so makes it harder to tell. Let me say this to you though. And the reason why we having this right now is because I do feel like the sneaker game the sneaker game ain't hitting the same. Very few. What's up, family? And the reason why I say this is because every day it seems like it is getting harder and harder when it comes to people who talk about sneakers or really know about sneakers. Like I know I'm like less than 0.00701%, right, of the care of people when it comes to the sneaker game. But like videos have like absolutely tanked. It's like literally non-existent, and I do feel like it's just not Nike that's in trouble. But I told you guys last year, Nike is showing all of us something, and I didn't want to say it, but I said Nike is showing a telltale sign what's going on with them, and we got something to show you guys, and we're gonna definitely have a great conversation about it because I see things later on in the future. But at the end of the day, I think all brands are in trouble. But yes, the juggernaut has a lot of issues, a lot of hidden issues that people just not seeing that I see, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't, I don't really think it's anything that Nike is not doing, or any of the shoe brands are not doing. I just think it's a shift in mindset for people overall. Because I mean, truth be told, like we got a lot of great shoes coming up, and like there's people excited for them, but it just, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like the energy is really there for a lot of people, and I don't know if it's, I mean, people want to look to the economy and stuff like that, but Jay, you and I were kind of having this conversation, just the thought process of, I feel like the thought process of a lot of people is shifting from stuff to experiences,
Mm, preach.
because we buy a lot of stuff, but what can we all honestly say we've actually experienced? There's a lot of people outside of the US in countries that don't have the same like economic prosperity that we do, and yet you talk to them, and some of them they visited like, they done visited like 10 plus countries, and they, and doing all this stuff, and yet per capita they make less money than we are, but yet they're having all these experiences all around the world. And a lot of times when we look at each other, it's like we always kind of comparing our stuff that we all have versus the different experiences we've all had.
So, chat, check this out, man, because I'm reading definitely y'all comments. We read everything. Trust me, man. Like facts. Yeah, he said true, very well said. Had EA, but I didn't know due to power outage. But again, he said he secured pairs with an S tomorrow. Pairs. Donald Mays, where your kicks? He already hit on the foamy Omis, and your boy J Elevate hit on the number one sneaker for the month of February. And to me, so far in 26, the best sneaker to release is the Stranger Things. Everybody know that is my so far the best sneaker that released so far, man. So shout out to everybody who caught the dub. Let us know in the chat if you got the W. Very few said, let's be honest, it's the economy. Why do you think people have money to spend on Wolf Grays right now? There's no disposable income for most people. Now, let me say this: the economy has a lot to do when it comes to what's going on with the state of sneakers right now. And to be quite frank with you guys, let me be honest with you. Where your kicks and I was talking about, I agree with him. See, when you look at YouTube and you're looking at across the board, right? Across the board, sneaker YouTube is down. And I'm gonna talk about myself because I can't talk about nobody else. Like I'm only gonna talk about myself, right? When it comes to the sneaker history, when it comes to dropping everything, videos have tanked horribly. Why? Because people's mindsets have changed. If you notice
Mm-hmm.
on YouTube, when it comes to tech, when it comes to travel, especially right now, travel vlogs is probably outdoing tech and financial
Mm-hmm.
literacy on YouTube. It is those are like probably the top three things that everybody is watching right now. And
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to sneaker hype, listen, I've said this in the past. Too much of anything is bad, chat. Let's be honest. And I'm not going to blame all of it on Nike, but Nike has a lot to do with people being turned off or walking away from sneakers. And the reason why I'm saying is because we get 40 drops a week, bro.
Mm.
40 drops a week. An abundance of anything is just bad. This is why I said, and I'm gonna say it again, man. Make sneakers limited, but make them obtainable and make certain kicks limited, right? Prime example. Most people, except for myself, and I'm not hyped over this kick, I just think it's the best frag out there right now, is the black and white pair. Everybody says that is the worst and that's the ugliest pair, but because it's limited, I hate to use resale in this situation. But again, there goes a prime example of what I'm saying, what people are looking for. People want to be different. They're looking at a whole different type of aspect when it comes to like a sneaker collection. They don't want to look like everybody else, and I respect it. But when you have too many drops, it becomes an abundance, it becomes boring, and it just comes like, all right, we've seen enough. We've seen enough. Let me play a clip right for y'all real quick. Let's play a clip for about maybe 10 seconds or so. Sound good to you, Where You Kicks?
Yeah, go ahead.
And I definitely want your thoughts, man. I know I'm gonna get your thoughts on these joints right here.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. And yeah, I did get so I used my golden ticket from Better Generation
Mm-hmm.
on the Stranger Thing phone posits
Yep.
to basically secure a pair for Jay. Jay ended up getting a pair. And today I hit on the Union Varsity Reds. So
Your sneaker of the month. You said that's the best. You said that's the best release so far, right?
I mean, for me, that was the one I was targeting the most.
Yep.
That's what I was targeting the most. It's an 11 and a half.
Yep. Here we go.
The phone posit is an 11 and a half, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Jay.
They said Jordan sales went down in 2025. What was it? They said 16%. Do you think it's any reason for that? Of why Jordan sneakers? I mean, Jordans have always been popular within our culture. So for them to see
it went down how much?
16%, 16.
All right, chat.
All right, so I'm reading it right now. It says, yes, Jordan brand revenue experienced a significant 16% decline for the fiscal year ending May 2025, falling to $7.3 billion. This followed a period of massive growth from 2020 to 2024, with the 2025 drop reflecting challenges with market saturation, competition from Adidas, and reduced demand for certain models, with declines across men's, women's, and kids segments.
Now, chat, y'all know I'm not the bragging type of guy. But I remember last year, everybody was roasting Jay when I said this is a bad look for Nike. Nike's exposing themselves and they not talking about it. And I said, opening up their vault and the way they did it was a bad look. The only reason why Nike did it was because they were trying to what? Appease their investors. And I said, Nike has to be in it for the long haul, not the short run. And look, listen, even though 25 was the best sneaker release of the year, it was too much. I said it.
Well, hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Go
because
ahead. Go ahead.
Remember, Jordan Brand is part of the Nike umbrella. That being said,
facts.
I remember in 24, Nike was down, but Jordan Brand sales were up. Now, what's interesting this time, we have a 16% decline in Jordan Brand sales, but Nike, it says Nike experienced a decline in sales throughout 2025 as well. Nike as a whole reported a 9.8% decline in total revenue to 46.31 billion, with declines across all geographies. This downturn, according to them, was largely driven by weak demand for classic footwear such as Air Force One and Dunks. Now, I will say, not only have Dunks fallen off, but SB Dunks have fallen off as well. And did they not lower prices and offer a bunch of sales on Air Forces, even though they've been producing a lot of different like Air Force One shoes? I think the white pair and the black pair, they were offering a lot of discounts on them, were they not?
I would have to agree with you. I would have to agree.
Also here it says segment performance. So Nike direct sales fell 13% for the full year with a 20% drop in digital sales. Wholesale revenue decreased by 7%. Um, let's see here. In the fourth quarter of fiscal 2025, the sales fell 12%. Even as the company works to recover, results in late 2025 show continued struggles, including a 17% drop in Greater China revenue in the second quarter for fiscal 2026. Reason for the decline, the drop was attributed to a loss of market share to competitors, reduced demand for classics and lifestyle-oriented shoes, and a strategic pivot to reintroduce more innovative products.
Now, I told y'all Nike needs to focus on innovation.
Well,
Also, if you guys like get time and you go look at the Jordan sales down, um, Fab and Jim Jones made a good point. And y'all know, man, I get on Jim Jones so much because he just sounds like sometimes he just out of pocket. But I have to agree with him. He said that the newer generation, the only reason why they have a connection to Jordans is because of their uncles and their dads, and that's facts.
that
They
is true. That is true.
I
That
was
is
like,
true.
hey, he was so spot on. I said, you know what, Jim, I gotta agree with you, bro, on this one, 100%.
I mean, look, agree or disagree with me. This quote unquote generations uh, Michael Jordan, that being LeBron James, like I don't know how much so much it is him personally as it just is the times that we're in. We had this debate before is if Michael Jordan was who he was now, like, and he was coming up, like he's going from North Carolina, we're seeing him go as a rookie into the NBA. We're seeing all these shoes or like a product line. Like, would his product line still hit the same way today as it did back in 1984, 1985 when he was coming into the NBA? The thing is, I don't know because again, back then it was what did we they try to say like they quote unquote never seen anything like it. Maybe not. Like the thing is Michael Jordan took a lot of inspiration from Dr. J, and you know Dr. J back then, right? They had the NBA and the ABA,
Right.
and there was a lot of people who didn't see Dr. J play because the ABA didn't necessarily generate the same income the NBA had. It wasn't until that they combined the leagues, right, that people really got to see who Dr. J was. You
Yeah.
know, so that being said, I don't know. I wonder if Dr. J could have commanded that type of love because it wasn't until later on in his career. But they got to see Mike from beginning to end, right? And then Nike had this whole campaign rolled out as far as how they were going to advertise him. And then obviously it helped that Michael Jordan was able to be who he was. But I'm just thinking now, with all the access we have to everything going on, it was easy to cut. Like if Mike made a mistake back then, it was easy for it to just not make the papers. Now, everybody's ready to report something for it to go viral on social media. So let's say like Mike was walking down the street and he happened to slip on a banana peel, right? Like somebody's taking pictures of that shit and it's going to be all over the internet making fun of him.
Well, let me say this to the chat. Let me get to a couple questions, and I'm gonna piggyback off what you're saying. True Swag said, but not everyone could get a hold of All Star shoes. That was BS. Very few said, good point, Lou. True Swag said, I hit the Lakers. Hey, salute to your fam. Donald May said, strong, man. Congratulations on that, Jay. True Swag, appreciate you, Brody. Donald May, salute. He said, I got the W on the phones too. Let's go, bro. Rob, no sir, no you didn't. L on the unions, W on the foamies. Congratulations, Rob. That is the best kick of February, in my opinion. Very few said, "Hey, I agree with you, Jay." Baseball guy, what's up, family? We appreciate you, Brody, for being here. It's too much. Spotter said, "I took a L today, man." Acorn 1999. How many pair of shoes you got? Honestly, bro, I lost count, bro. I'm probably well over 200, man. What about yourself? Where?
Shit, I don't know. After tomorrow, it may be down another. It may be down another 8 to 10 pairs. I don't know. Thinking
Yeah,
about moving some shoes tomorrow too.
yeah. I've
And
been.
I think True Swag asked me about them phone pods if I was going to sell them. Yeah, I'm probably looking to sell them joints. I'm not a big phone posit fan. I'm not. I'm not a big phone pot. I literally took that pair to guarantee Jay to have his pair for him. I was being a nice guy.
That's right. That's true.
But
That's
Jay
true.
got a pair, so yeah.
Yep.
Um,
I do want to double up, but I can't be greedy, man.
but
I
see, you
can't.
don't even know if they're gonna fit you right because they're 11 and a half and using 11.
That's true. I know they
It
fit.
might be too much, too much playroom in there.
Whoa, pause, 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 pause.
Yo, speaking of pause, I'm kind of diverting from the conversation. Today I was listening to football, like some football talk, right? They was talking about trading AJ Brown, and what the Patriots, if because he's a big Patriots fan, and what the Patriots could give up, right? Literally, the radio host goes, yeah. So in talking about AJ Brown, how big of a package do you think the Patriots would give? Bro, why did everybody go pause on your boy? The co-hosts were like, "Hey, yo, pause."
Oh man. Oh man.
Oh man. Oh,
So
all right.
so
Back to it.
here's the thing, man.
Uh,
I think, Lou, you made some very good points and some very good questions, and I'm going to say this to you. If Nike would have given Jordan the same type of sneakers that he had back then in today's era, absolutely they would sell out. The reason why LeBron is not doing well because his kicks don't really tell a full story. Like those 40Ks, I was like, whoa, them 40Ks is banging. Nike
okay,
went
well, hold on.
crazy on it. The
Hold
way
on
the
a second.
colorway hit, the storyline, like the other colorways don't the other
But
colorways has a story, but it just doesn't hit like that 40K. They just need to give him better designs.
hold
I'm
on,
just gonna
Jay.
be honest
Hold
with you.
on, Jay. Hold on, Jay. Hold on,
Go
Jay.
ahead.
Let's do this apples to apples now, because truth be told, it's a niche community that likes any silhouette. Technically, 15 and beyond. Let's be real with that. For most people, when you ask them about Jordan silhouette sneakers, it's one
Yeah.
through 14. That's the biblical, that's what's in the Bible of Michael Jordan. 1 through
Okay.
14.
Hmm.
Anything else is like the Nicene Creed said, nah, we ain't gonna worry about these. This is what we're sticking with.
I
Okay.
agree.
All right. So now when we look at LeBron's shoes, okay, I would say like once you get to like what silhouette was like the South Beaches? Was it the South Beach eights, LeBron eights, and the Big Bangs with those nines?
Yeah, but I mean, even past that, I
But
think it's
I
safe to
don't.
say 12s.
So I don't. Yeah. So I don't really think past his 12 silhouette like it didn't necessarily hit the same. So Apple. So in apples comparison, like this silhouette that just came out, the LeBron 23s, they're pretty decent. I think they're cool. Um, but that being said, like you're right. Like when you look at the designs of the Jordans 15 and beyond, they don't really hit the same for a lot of people. Besides the
So,
fact that he didn't wear them in game either.
but also, it goes back to the storytelling. Not all LeBrons were hit. Let's be honest. All of LeBrons were not a hit.
You're absolutely right.
All of
But
them were.
okay, let's put it this way, right? Because there's the silhouette and then there's the colorway that tells the story. Okay. But again, But again, I'm just trying to view it from the perspective of technically, like Michael Jordan was never seen before, right? But when you really look at the levels of athleticism that we have today, if you if you swap Michael Jordan into the slot today amongst everybody else, is his athleticism really that much different? Like, truth be told, for example, right? Do you think do you really like we know Mike did what he did in the slam dunk contest, but we have never seen we Vince Carter came years later, and people will argue pound for pound that Vince Carter had the best slam dunk contest showing ever.
I agree.
Ever.
But
So when
but
you
Vince
think
Carter's
about,
sneakers don't hit like Jordan.
I'm not talking about sneakers right now, but understand Jordan sneakers did what they did because of Jordan the player, not
Correct.
because of the way the sneakers look. Okay, Jordan the player made the shoe. The shoe is what
Correct.
it is because of what Michael Jordan was able to accomplish in the shoes.
Correct.
Okay, but part of Michael Jordan's lore again was the athleticism, the never before seen things that he could do in the air. But when you think about people that came after him, there were
But
dudes that came after him that arguably probably were way more athletic than Mike. So if he was in the game today with the level of athleticism that these guys have, I just don't know if we would actually look at him the same way versus how guys were. Bro, there were dudes, hold on, Jay, keep it a beam. There were guys smoking cigarettes during halftime back when Mike was coming up in the league, bro. Let's keep
absolutely,
it a beam. And ain't nobody doing that now. Ain't nobody doing
times
that
have changed.
nonsense now.
Times have changed. But and I'm gonna go up and say this, right? SGA is not the most, you know what I'm saying, a guy who can jump out the gym, right? He's not.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
But his silhouettes is doing better than LeBron's. And the reason and I'm going with that because of it again.
Isn't it
If
his first though?
you said what?
Isn't it his first silhouette?
But it is, but listen, hear me out, because not everybody has a successful first sneaker. I mean, let's just keep it a beam.
LeBron's first shoe was successful though.
LeBron was, but not Steph Curry. Everybody's roasting him with Under Armour. They was like, that shoe was horrible. Remember, he went and he did that live.
But
He was
wasn't
like,
that
y'all crazy? My
wait a
sneakers
minute?
fire. You don't
Wasn't
remember that?
he? Wasn't he with Nike first, and then he went to Under Armour?
I can't recall that one.
Let me double check. Let me double
Go
check.
ahead.
But go
I
ahead.
can't
Go ahead. But
recall
go
that.
ahead. Go ahead with your argument. Though.
But what
Go
I'm
ahead.
saying is, not even just about athleticism. The reason why that I'm tying in sneakers into this whole situation because it gives a story about the person. It gives a story about who they are. And what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, like SGA is not like the guy who jumping out the gym, but what is he doing? His sneakers are doing very well because of what? Because of his work ethic and what he's doing in the league. You guys can
And
talk all about.
and
Wait a minute, hold on. Like you guys can talk about Anthony Edwards all you want. Yes, he's a more fun player to watch, but he ain't better than he's not better than SGA. I'm just gonna keep it a beam. He's not. SGA slicing his ass. Okay?
yeah,
SGA is taking him to the cup and treating that little guy like nothing.
yeah. Curry was with Nike first. He got roasted when he went to Under Armour. I remember that.
Okay, so he was
Yeah.
with
So he was with Nike first. So he got roasted when he went to Under Armour. You're right. He did. He did get
right
roasted. He went to Under Armour.
because that
But
shoe was trash.
But
And that's
SGA
my point.
shoes, they listen. All of SGA shoes are released in limited quantities. So let's see what they do if they start dropping 25,000 pairs of SGA Converses, and then we could talk about it. You know, but if you dropping like less than 3,000 pairs per release in all these things, I mean,
Ooh.
they gonna move. Like there's enough. I would say there's way more than 3,000 SGA fans. Would you agree? Would you agree?
Okay.
There's more than okay. So if you release 3,000 shoes and you've got 15,000 fans clamoring for them shoes, they're gonna sell out, bro. But now
Hey,
let's see what happens if they start dropping the same amount of shoes like they do with some of these LeBrons.
but let's be honest. SGA shoes are still doing good, but you can find some SGAs sitting. Why? Because they making too many colorways. Just like why? Too many colorways of the John Morants. Too many doggone colorways. It goes back to again, too much of anything is a turnoff. And 305 said after he grabbed that little cheeks at the NASCAR, it's going to drop more. 305, you said
Bro,
that perfect, bro.
bro. But here's the thing. You know what's funny?
Whoa.
You know what's funny? We have to go be able to check Nike's market share the day that story came out to now and see if there is like a sharp decline that has occurred.
Mm-hmm.
Because let me tell you, the amount of people that first of all, the amount of people that came out to defend Mike, number one, and then number two, blamed it on LeBron James fans as if he's got something to do, like with as if those fans got something to do with the fact that like people were pushing it all over social media. Like, come on, bro, come on, like,
Jay Nate in the bill. What's up, y'all? Jay Nate. Hey,
like
hey,
shout
y'all.
out to
Jay
everybody
Nate.
tapped in, man.
Hey, Jay Nate about to have a huge battle, man, when it comes to putting fits together, man. Shout out to Jay Nate, man. Sneaker Tyler said, I'm really liking these LeBron Air Force Ones and hoping I can cop a pair. Dean Goldberry, what's up, bro? He said, bro, I'm in the right looks like War Machine. My God. We got 222 Abel said, it's what he did. These shoes. Okay, okay. Why you like these shoes? I'm assuming that's
Oh,
what you're saying. Okay, okay.
so hold on. I disagree. I believe the shoe hype came because the league crowned him the GOAT. If we talk about what someone did in them shoes, wouldn't we be looking at other shoes? Um, but again, it's like okay. The thing is everything we see, who's the first person we think of the moment someone does something stupid athletic? Michael Jordan. That's that's what I'm getting at. Like, listen, there was a time. Okay, there was a time when when Kobe was coming through, T Mac was coming through, Anthony Hardaway, Vince Carter, Allen Iverson. Like, you had these guys that were doing a bunch of things, and remember, there was a race to crown the next upcoming Michael Jordan. The league was trying to find their next Michael Jordan. So anytime you had like T Mac, you had like Kobe, Vince Carter, and all them, they were like, oh, who's going to take the mantle? And the league was doing a lot of promotions in that way. The league has changed completely now. The league is totally different now. Like, and just I just think how we view. I mean, why is the NBA down the way it is?
So,
The game is just not. It's just not what it was anymore. It's just not.
but so part of it, listen, great, listen, like it is what he did in the shoe, right? It is. You're right, bro. It is what anybody has done in the shoe. But what I'm saying is, at the same time, it's also the storytelling because Vince Carter to me is the greatest dunker, ever. To me, he is. But Vince Carter can't sell shoes like an MJ. Is what the person stands for, is their whole entire career, what they did, and how unique Jordan shoes were. Still to this day, you can absolutely distinct a Jordan shoe from anybody else's shoe
You're
as
right.
quickly as it is. Not because of his name. Take the name out. We're just talking about the silhouettes himself. They told a story. They look better. They make so much sense. Nike just wasn't throwing out anything. Let's be honest. And all these other shoe brands, right? They're starting to pick up the pace. But again, like this is why you can distinctively tell, right? For example, an Action Bronson opposed to let's, for example, I'm just saying like a regular New Balance, right? When Kyrie Irving was dropping his sneakers out, guess what? People stopped messing with them because why? They just weren't looking like anything anymore. But then when John Morant came, if you look at Kyrie's shoes, they really took Kyrie name off and they just stamped Ja name on it, and then boom, Now we finally got something dope. The
Here,
Job 3.
but here's my question for everyone talking about how great MJ shoes are, how great the symbol of all that. How old are you guys right now? How old are you guys? Because I would venture to say if you at least mid 30s and above, yeah, I'm going to agree with you. But it's because what we came up with, and part of what we were talking about was these people coming behind us, right? Just like in the clip, like Jay said, a lot of these kids know about Michael Jordan because of their dads and their uncles, not because of anything they seen. And tell me who's the player right now, right? That these kids are really gravitating to basketball wise. Who? What are they gravitating to? Period. I don't really think it's athletes anymore like it used to be. A lot of these people, a lot of these kids growing up now, they could probably name more YouTubers than they could athletes, in my opinion. They watching all these streamers and stuff like that and wanting to be like them versus wanting to put in the work to be an athlete. These kids don't even want to go outside and when it's slightly warm out.
Hey, so Abel, I got what you're saying now. It's what he did in these shoes. Jay Nate said LeBron's would never hit to me. Jay Nate said only Cleveland bums rock LeBron.
I
Jay Nate,
mean,
you
listen,
are
but
a
listen,
fool.
but he's not lying though. There's a
Get a
listen.
fool.
There's obviously a lot of fans of LeBron James. There's a lot of fans of LeBron James. Like me personally, like my fondest memories of LeBron is up until he left Cleveland the second time. His time in the Lakers uniform is just kind of like nah, nah. But everything before that, I was a huge fan of that. But that being said, like we're focusing on it from a sneaker perspective. Like, who's there really out here to gravitate like that? Like, think about the shoes they're releasing that we all are gravitating. Like, we talking about bringing back Barry Sanders. They bringing back Griffey's again. People are jumping on Griffey's. Like, we grew up wanting to wear the shoes of these athletes because that's what was on TV. That's what was getting replayed on Sports Center the next day when we couldn't stay up late to watch these games. We had to read these newspaper clippings. We had to go to the magazines. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were trying to do anything we could to consume information about our favorite athletes that we love to watch. Now, you don't need none of that. You can get on your phone and you can just start doom scrolling, and there's all types of stuff popping up. You know what I'm saying? It's like I can find information anytime I want about this athlete. And not only that, I can find out about them doing some old dumb stuff out here too. So now the prestige of the way we view some of these athletes gets knocked down when you start seeing them in everyday light.
Mm. We got a lot of comments. Hold on, hold on. Jay Nate said, not true. Jordan 17s sell out every release. Don says, salute, fellas. We appreciate you, Don. Salute, salute. The great, of course, man. Happy Friday. We got Jason. Jason said, what's up, fellas? 222. Abel said, what is he talking about, Jay? Don, Jordan versus Dominique Wilkins was a good dunk contest. Hey, that was a phenomenal dunk contest. And Jordan lost that first dunk contest to Dominique Wilkins.
Yeah, he did.
I am the hype. ATV, what's up, fam? And then, of course, we already know the great. We answered that one for you. And then social said LeBron's shoes are underrated. He got some very good silhouettes, which he does. I feel like they are shoes that will pop later. Mr. K said WW. Okay, Mr. K, we appreciate you for being in with all the dubs, man. He got all the dubs. Love it, love it. Lil D. Williams said Curry was with Nike in '09, I think. Yup. Shout out to Sig. He said, yo, appreciate you, Brody. Social said, I have two bronze 16s, one pair of 17s, which I could get the reds. Okay. You wish you can get the reds. Okay. Rob says, Nike and LeBron put no time into his shoes now. It's 80 colors per shoe. Rob,
Well,
that's exactly what I'm saying. And feels like 10 shoes per season. Where's his flu game? What is he wearing? The game he got dehydrated. I have no idea. Rob, you hit it right on the head. And that's my point, bro. Too many silhouettes dropping, too many colorways. People get turned off. They don't tell real stories. They're too focused on marketing. And this is some of the reasons why we have like the death to the sneaker community because prices. We've seen the same shoes 8,000 times. And listen, y'all.
but
I love it. But at the end of the day, for me, like I'm talking about the masses, y'all. I'm talking about the masses, not me. I just want to put that disclaimer out there, man. But at the end of the day, man, like people jump in and jump out of things. I've been a sneakerhead since the 80s. I ain't going nowhere. But the masses, oh yeah, their mindset
we
has
can't. But okay, how can we sit here and talk about colorways? Jake, just look what's behind you right now, bro. How much red, black, and white? I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I see 9 pairs of red, black, and white sitting behind you right now
yeah.
of all Jordan shoes. UNC colorways. I see at least 2. You got a Laney behind you, right? But I missed the black cement threes there again, red, black, and white. Like, how many times have we seen that colorway on all these different silhouettes? But again, the people that have you see these shoes and have an intrinsic value to them are people who saw Mike play. They saw Mike play. You know, we grew up in an era where our athletes were our heroes. Like, athletes ain't necessarily these kids' heroes anymore. Some of these kids now they aspiring to be Mr. Beast. These kids are aspiring to be Kai Cenat. You know, they ain't got to put all their blood, sweat, and tears to become famous. They could just sit behind their computer and talk all day to get famous and make all this money. You know, and look at all the stuff they put out here on social media now, bro. Okay, let's put it this way. Remember how who was we talking to? Our guy out of Texas. Who's our dude out of Texas, Jay? Superfly.
Okay.
Remember when we was talking with Superfly? What did he say? Growing up, who were the people in his area that he looked up to? Right? The D-boys around the area. That's who they aspired to be because that's in their immediate. So it was them. You was either doing that, you was rapping, or trying to be an athlete. Correct? Well, like I said, now these kids, they don't want to go the hell outside no more. They want to be on their phones, on their computers. I see them in the mornings. They got their phone set up, waiting on the bus, making TikToks and nonsense, bro. They necessarily try, like, if it wasn't for NIL right now, you probably see a huger drop off than you already do because they already talked about how in the youth sports there's a drop off there in youth sports and participation. And you know, a lot of these schools now, they've also got rid of phys ed. You know, a lot of schools have phased out phys ed in a lot of places. You know, our country as a whole, like, we only getting fatter. We the most obese nation in the world. Like, the amount of money that's there, granted, there's a lot of people that go to it, but the mindset of really trying to achieve that level is dropping somewhat little by little. And the people that are trying to aspire to get to that level, I don't see that no more, bro.
Well, okay. Before I read some of these comments, because we behind a lot on the comments, man. Shout out to everybody out there in the chat rocking with us, man. Hey, man, if you out there watching this, man, go ahead, sub up, man. Sub up, give us a thumbs up, free entertainment. Hey, let's go ahead and rock. Let me say this to you. What you're saying about in terms of like the younger generation sitting at the crib, not wanting to really do much, you preaching, without a doubt. But let's talk about when it comes to the NBA. We can talk about how skilled these guys are, right? That's cool. You can be as skilled as you want because nobody plays defense.
But
I'm just the fun of basketball is not nearly as hype because again, I don't care how skilled these guys are. when someone put defense on them, as you can tell, they miss way more shots. But the game does become more exciting, and the NBA has like really babied these guys. These guys talking about, oh, I just don't want to play today, so I need load management. And Jordan talked about why would you do something like that when the guy all the way at the top of the stands, who the one I'm really paying for, who really worked his ass off, and that's the one I want to shut up when I'm in a spot, not the people down by the court, the little guys who don't have enough money, who all the way at the top, who spent their money to come watch me play. It is my duty to play.
But Jay, hold on a second, right? I see where you're coming from, but we talking about, right? We started this whole segment off talking about the fact that like Nike's losing sales, right? Nike's sales have gone down, and we're talking about why has that happened. And so what has happened is the mindset of a lot of people, right? And the drive is coming from where? The drive is going to come from who's up and coming in this game. So, all this stuff about what's going on currently in the NBA, we talking about what the future is going to look like.
But
we talking about the here and now, and seeing the drop in sales of the shoe game and why that's been happening, and what that trend is going to look like towards the future.
Go.
What these dudes are doing right now in the NBA, like, listen, the NFL changed, okay? Good, bad, or indifferent, the NFL changed. Now, their change worked. They went from advertising the hard hits to making it easier for offenses to score, and with the up and coming of fantasy football and all that stuff that's involved, and now the gambling and stuff, like, the NFL is just raised to a whole new height. The NBA itself is trying to find their footing, okay, in a lot of different ways, and they just haven't necessarily hit their mark yet. Okay. Now they may end up finding something, or they may not, but it ain't got nothing to do overall with just the sales of shoes and what the mindset of the people coming up now into the shoe game are thinking. Stuff has changed completely for them. And you talking about, these guys playing in the league, like, bro, you realize there's kids out here who they're like, screw going to the court. I'm going to make me a creative player. I'm going to play NBA 2K, and I'm going to try and grow my social media following playing basketball through the video game.
But again, it goes back to like what I was saying earlier. We first talked about shoes, but it's the player connection that comes with the shoes. I'm going to give you a prime example. Right? Kawhi Leonard. As talented as an animal this dude is, he's always got something where he can't play. And what I'm saying is, what you're saying is, we're saying something different, but we said the same thing. But listen, at the end of the day, we did look up to these sports figures, right? These sports figures are not anybody to look up to, because they don't have the heart. And also cumbersome when it comes to not only the economy, when it also comes to not giving us quality sneakers for a better price that tells a story. That is also the reason why there's a death to the sneaker community. And I'm just not talking about Nike, y'all. I'm talking about Adidas is in trouble.
That's a lot of them.
New Balance is in trouble. All of them are in trouble. I'm just going to be honest with you. Yes, I keep talking about how New Balance is cutting shares from Nike, how they're starting to cut shares from Adidas. I talk about that. I'm very happy to hear that Reebok is on the come up right now. Not enough to come up to say they're really taking people market shares, but they're coming up. They're getting back in the game.
They're trying.
With the rise of competition, with the rise of pricing and cost, Reebok is giving people dope kicks for $130. $110. And low key, they selling out. Hey, Don, you crazy, man. He said, Jay, you on fire, man. My homie. Jordan has a cult following. He did, bro.
He does. He does. I'm just saying, like, but that cult, like, listen, that cult following is getting older. They're not getting younger. They're getting older. And for a lot of these kids coming up now, they still think they're gonna be the next big reseller too,
Yep.
right? A lot of their chase for these shoes is, oh, what are they going for? What are they going for on StockX? What are they going for on Go? Like the cult following is getting older. All the people that watched Mike at some point, bro, like we ain't gonna be around no more to continue to advocate for Mike like that.
Right.
But think about past athletes that were at Mike's level in their own time. Those guys
Yeah.
are gone too.
Yep. Yep. Jason said, Jason, he said, who's Zion with now? Zion is by himself, man.
Yeah.
Nike and Jordan, they cut him quick, bro. They
Yep.
let him go.
Zion and Nike cut ties.
Yep. Social said, I don't think Jordan. I have seen Vince. He also said Grant Hill had monster dunks. Hey, Keldon, he said, gay. That's interesting, man. Appreciate you for being here, bro. I'm glad you're a happy guy. The great said Grant Hill, Penny, and Vince all suffered major injuries before they were him. That's facts. The NBA is soft now. 228, but we preaching, man, the same language, man. Jason said, how many players get dubbed? The name Baby Jordan, facts. And then Social says MJ shoes are actually great design. The logo is cold. Plus, he's a legend. Neighborhood said, oh my God, I'm happy I had to find a pretty car for my daughter. She good. I got her 2022 Toyota Corolla for $11,400 a month. Let's go. Neighborhood salute, man. That is fire, bro. Toyota Corollas will last you forever. The great said people only look at half of Jordan's career. Everyone has a story, though. Facts. 222 says storytelling is part of it. I agree. Social say people don't buy Jumpmans. They are not great designs. Jason said 47. He said 222. I'm 49. I'm old, laughing out loud. I'm ready. I wanted Hibbits. I used my $10 discount. Let's go. Hey, y'all, chat, man. Y'all are lighting it up tonight, man. I'm just trying to catch you with the comments. We appreciate everybody, man. We rocking it right now. We killing it. Salute to everybody, man.
Real
Kids
quick.
not wearing sneakers no more. It's designer fashion. K44YY. Facts, bro. And Very said, but I got 25-year-old son and I got a 4-year-old daughter, but to be 5-year grandson, to be a 5-year-old grandson, and they both love MJ. Preach. Preach. Where you kicks go ahead.
And granted, like, listen, there's a lot of kids that get excited for getting Jordans. Like we saw that a couple Christmases ago, all these kids that were opening their first Jordan sneakers. So I'm not saying the love ain't there. I'm just saying it's not, it's dying off. And the real people in that community are getting older. You hear it all the time. There are a lot of these guys, a lot of the older guys who came up in the sneaker game, what do they talk about? I can't wear J's no more. I gotta wear something more comfortable. I gotta wear something more comfortable. Some of these guys, their knees are knocking. They walking around and they hear snap, crackle, and pop, and they just getting out of bed now. So just real quick, a couple things here. Let's see, 90% of y'all didn't see Jordan play. Y'all didn't see the games he scored 41 points because they weren't on national TV. You're right. You didn't see. Oh yeah, the games he scored 4 points because they weren't on national TV. It's always been a specific narrative they push. That's 100% true. You didn't have Sports Center and all that back then, to be at the level that it's at now, to where you saw all that stuff. Let's see here. U Sports are behind a paywall now because with AAU and whatnot, all sports players are wealthy kids. Exactly. AAU has changed so much now. It's so different now, bro. So different now. You're absolutely right. And a lot of these parents, in order for them to participate, they got to have a good amount of money to be a part of it. Let's see. We've been talking about Bron for 20 years. I believe his shoes will be hot releases later. Kobe's used to sit like ducks until he passed away. Absolutely. Absolutely. With shoes nowadays, it's about trend and buzz. And a lot of that trend and buzz comes from social media hype. A lot of that trend and like honestly, like we talked about, the Black Hat 4s became hype because of TikTok. Before that, they were outlet specials that sat years ago, and then for whatever reason they went viral on TikTok, and then everyone started chasing down Black Cat Forest.
Hey, so Very also said the internet is demonic. To be perfectly honest, they don't have to touch grass. Louis, very grateful that my son is cut from some old school cloth because I galvanized that in him. Yep,
Hmm.
preach, bro.
I mean, look, like, listen, like, hold up, did I hit? Oh, I was about to say,
What's up?
nah, I was seeing, I got a notification here about my union shipping, but then it showed one of two labels created. Are they sending me a double up? Are they sending me? It's a label created, one of two. That's weird.
So
I don't know what that's
Cap
about.
Cap said, "Nice shoe collection. What's your most expensive shoe?" Um, probably. Ooh, I don't know. I would probably say, man, probably the TS Golfs, man, are my most expensive shoe. Probably
Mm,
so.
mm.
I think that's the most expensive one, probably.
Let's see here. A couple more. Let's see. I think Jordan Brand needs to start putting React X soles in their retro sneakers, kind of like the pro. I mean, listen, and who's asking for more comfort in the shoes? The older generation that's wearing them. Absolute facts. Where your kicks? Our kid are going to keep it going. Where I'm from, all the kids at my local school stay Jordan up. My son has 60 pair of J's. He's 20. Nice. That's nice. But see, he's got an actual love for shoes. But I'm just saying today, I think we can all agree that it's not what it was when we were coming up. So shout out to you and your family, bro, keeping that shoe game alive, man. For
Yep.
real. Shout out to you guys for it.
Hey, Rob,
Um,
don't you do that about Juju. Hey, Rob, don't you do that, boy. Juju, yes, sir. Juju, yes, sir, boy. I'm with you 100% on that Juju Braun collab. Let's go.
K44 said, I didn't mention Booker because his shoes designs are trash, but an actual quality design and young face to push it, Nike will never fail. Yeah, I don't know what happens to Kevin Booker sneakers, but apparently they
Devin,
here
oh, Devin
today.
Booker?
Devin Booker,
Devin
sorry, not
Booker.
Kevin. I said Kevin Booker.
Yeah, it's all good.
But them Jones, somebody buying them. They keep making them. Somebody buying them
Just
joints.
not here. Just not here.
Yeah, Robsy, I don't know if they're sending me an extra union. I think it could be a glitch, my guy. I don't know. I don't know. If they end up sending me two pair of union, that'd be wild. I've heard of people getting double up on a shoe at random, but a lot of times they don't even know they got to double up until they arrive. So I don't know what the deal is.
Hey,
Um,
give me 1 second. I want y'all to listen to this real quick. Hold on.
all right, and then I got to roll, my guy. Unfortunately, I
Okay.
know this conversation hitting right now,
Hey,
but I
hey,
do got
if
to.
you
Hey, real quick though, real
you
quick for
can go,
those
I can
y'all
stay.
tapped in, man.
Mhm.
Tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, you can catch us again. Right? Wolf Grade Fives are dropping tomorrow, one pair at a time podcast. We will be
Yep.
live and direct, and make sure you tap in, man, because me and Jay gonna have more of these types of conversations.
Facts. Facts. Check this out, man. I agree with you. I never looked up to drug dealer. Facts, bro. Peep this though, real quick. I want to show y'all something, man.
All right, what you got?
That in consideration. Everything is mad expensive right now. A lot of people not getting no money. This shit is crazy outside. So I don't think Jordans are the most important thing on a lot of people's mind right
Right.
now as they was in the
Mm-hmm.
past. And
Mm-hmm.
there's more money.
But is that a sign that Jordans might be not as important as they used to be?
I wouldn't say so. We probably
I
look
don't
at
think so.
all of these designers and sneakers and brands. They probably all down a little bit from the way the economy is going. This shit is hard out there right now.
Right.
There's also different generations involved. So
Here we go.
Jordans in our generation was a must-have shoe.
See that?
There it is. It is a generational thing.
Yep.
And that's why I was saying, Jay, like this generation right now, like social media, can I become famous? Okay, for example, there's a dude, I can't remember his name, but in all his posts, he never says a word. He just kind of shrugs. He just kind of does a shrug and makes his face. Do you know he sold his image to an AI company for like multi millions of dollars, so they can just keep reusing his shit? He ain't gotta make another social media post again, bro. But the dude was so viral, he was able to sell his image to a company that's gonna keep reproducing the content he was making with AI. But that being said, Jay, I do gotta roll, my guy.
Go ahead, man.
I do gotta get going.
Chat for a little bit.
Well, ain't no way you're gonna be able to do that because remember I'm hosting. I'm hosting.
Okay. Hey, chat. Listen, man. We appreciate y'all for rocking with us today, man. Like, listen, like, share, subscribe for that real sneaker content. Come on now, you know the model.
Actually, Jay, you could do you could throw up another live real quick for yourself.
Yeah.
You could do that.
All right, chat.
Well, make sure you add his notification bell tapped on, man. I think, Jay, you going to go live for him?
No, I'll catch y'all tomorrow, man. Appreciate y'all.
All right, tomorrow, man, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Catch us One Pair at a Time podcast channel. Myself, Jay Elevate. Hopefully, we'll have our guy Purple Haze and Mr. Think I'm Possible. But if not, you definitely going to have us. The lives are lucky, y'all. We'll catch you tomorrow. Peace.